Hello, my name is Jesse Walter. This is another UDK tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to cover some of the changes I have made in the elevator system, whereas I've added audio to this elevator system, as well as adding water into our scene. The water will be a water volume, and this will comprise of several components. But before we get started with the water volume, let's talk about the changes I've made in this elevator system. So, as we can see, if I pull out here and switch to wireframe mode, take note of these audio nodes I've placed in here, kind of going up the elevator shaft. So we have a couple of different types of audio nodes. This is a ambient sound non-looping node. This is a toggleable audio node, and as we can see, we have a number of toggleable audio nodes up throughout this elevator shaft. Now, my approach to this was to create these toggleable audio ambient sounds for the elevator generator, which we can see back in here, and the elevator platform itself as it's traversing up through these with aid of these metal cables. I've also positioned these so that they can only be heard through the tunnel. When we're outside, you might hear just a little bit, but we only want to hear it when we're in this tunnel or in this tower. And so my approach was kind of similar to that of the lights, where we're utilizing this same trigger. In how we turn these toggleable lights on and off, we're also going to turn these toggleable audio files on and off. So if I open up Kismet, go into our subsequence tower elevator, you can see a lot has changed. It's grown quite a bit. So if you remember from our previous video, we covered these interp actors. Get rid of that, we don't need that anymore. These interp actors were being utilized by Matinee to invoke the movement of those actors. Coming off the trigger, I've set up the play beeping sound so that when we hit E on our keyboard, we hear a sound coming from the control panel. And in order to set that up, I did a new action, sound, play sound. Okay, and instead of attaching the audio variable down here to the target, what I did was found this in our content browser. So found the message beep queue. With that selected, I plugged it in to this field, and then coming out I told it to toggle we can find toggle from a new action, toggle, toggle. Simply drag the node connector into the next node. And then coming out, I set a small delay. New action, miscellaneous, and delay right there. And in the delay duration field, I set it to 0.01, hit enter, and you can see up here at the top it changed that information. So just that easy, and it's just all about kind of daisy chaining these things together with the proper logic and understanding how they work. So play beep sound, toggle on, and then coming out, give me just a split second of a delay before you turn on these ambient toggleable nodes. So to create those toggleable nodes, we would open up our content browser under actor classes and pull up sounds, ambient sounds, and we have ambient sound movable, we have ambient sound toggleable right there. And then we have an ambient sound non-looping toggleable. So I use the ambient sound simple toggleable. Let me change that size, drag that into the scene. Open up its properties. And I made sure the autoplay was unchecked. And what else did I need to do here? Oh, sound slots, that's what I'm looking for right here. So in our sound slots here, we're going to add a sound slot. Open this little area up down here. And for our wave file, I'll pull that from the content browser. The wave file I used was the elevator loop. If we play that, we can listen to it. And unfortunately, you gotta, well, while it's playing, you can do a couple things. I can sometimes hit stop sound, or also to stop it, open up another sound that's going to stop on its own. So I grabbed this, and you can search for these under all types. Sound wave data. You have sound cues, sound modes, and you have sound wave data. We're going to look for sound wave data. And you can find this. I've already have this saved. With this particular node actually saved in my package, and then we're actually looking in the movers package. But you may want to look at all the audio. So click on the top tier of the library or folder list there, and you'll get a huge selection of audio sounds. So going back to our wave node that we're looking for, elevator loop, we plug that right on into here, and now we can adjust the volume. That's modulation. We can adjust the main volume right here, and the pitch. if we want to adjust the modulation, a lot of times this is kind of the area that I'll kind of manipulate to get that pitch sounding the way I want it to sound. And you can adjust that minimum, maximum volume sound of the modulation right through here as well. So then we have our node in here. Open up Kismet again. We right click, new object for our using, and there's our node. Now what I'll also do too is duplicate this node. Once I got the sound exactly where I want it, I duplicated it up through that tower here, the opening of this tower, and connected my toggling to those volume or to those audio nodes. Now so that basically is our audio going up that elevator shaft, giving us the sound of the elevator as it's going up. When I'm done, as it comes back down in reverse, I want to turn off that generator sound. So I connected it to another toggleable node, and as it's coming out, I'm giving it a short delay and then connecting it to another toggleable mode, which shuts off this generator. Now this first toggleable is another audio. This audio is a non-looping toggleable node. So just like how we put our toggleable nodes down, I did the same thing for this non-toggleable. So opening up our actor classes, using this ambient sound non-toggleable, drag that in here. Sorry. And brought up the properties, found the wave file that I wanted to use for it, plugged it in, adjusted my volume pitches as needed, right click, drop that variable in, then hooked it up to the toggleable. So think about the logic here. Hit the trigger, play beep sound, turn on with a short delay, then start the generator sound. We keep playing that generator sound. It acts as a loop until the elevator has reversed and made it all the way back down to the end of its cycle. When it does, we play the last bit of sound, and that's the sound of the elevator hitting the ground. Short delay, and we're only talking like 0.01, so it's like a split second of a delay, and then turn off, activate this toggle to turn off those ambient sounds. So we use that same logic for our lights, and so I just basically created this light near the generator, which is going to flicker, and as it flickers, so we turn on, as it flickers, we're also activating some sound, and that sound is using a non-looping toggleable sound, and that's located right down there by the generator. That's why we see two of those non-loopable sounds. So we hit the trigger, start the light flickering, and as we can see, the target of this is this one light bulb. We turn it on, and then we have a short delay. This is how long that light bulb is on, and it's on for 0.01 seconds. And then as it finishes, I turn off that light, and as that's turned off, the sound is played. So after that delay, so turn on light for how long, this is the delay, this is how long we're going to have it on, 0.01 seconds. And as soon as that's off, or as soon as that delay is finished, let's turn off the light and let's give us the sound of the flickering light. But for how long? For 0.1 second. Then when that's finished, we toggle on, and I just kind of repeat the sequence over and over, turning on and off, always remembering to play the sound as I'm coming out of the time that I've set for the light to be on. And finally, we need to turn off that light when the matinee is finished. So after matinee has reversed itself, go up through here and turn off that light. It's just that simple. It looks complicated, but it's not. So let's go ahead and test this out. I still need to rebuild my lighting, but that is basically the review from any of the updates I've made since the last video. So when I hit the E button, we should hear a click sound, and the generator shall turn on, and the elevator will move, and we'll get an elevator sound as well. Piece of cake. Now what about well, like I said, I have to rebuild my lighting. We'll see the lights after I rebuild my lighting. So let's let's go ahead and start talking about our water. Pull out of here. So we've got this river down here. And it's not much of a river because we don't have any water. So let's go ahead and open up our actor classes. And we're going to use fluid surface actor. Put that down. And adjust the height of the water. This is basically what the top of our water is going to look like. So maybe we'll try that out. See how that looks. Scale it. And we want to cover our terrain here. I don't necessarily need, let's go to wireframe. Nope, that's not going to help us. I don't need it to cover back in there. That doesn't matter so much. But I do need it to flow all the way out through here and all the way out through this other side back here. So keep scaling this. too far. You speed up my mouse so I can zoom out here a little bit faster. There we go, I can see more. And maybe reposition this about like that. And I'm going to do a non-uniform scale. Just kind of move this accordingly. And that'll probably work. We're not going to see this back here, and the players are not going to get up in here, so that should do it. And zoom back into the level. Yeah, I think that'll give a nice look to this level. And so now we want to find a material for this top layer of the water here. So let's go in the content browser and check this. Let's go all the way back to the top. Look through all the packages and go to the favorites. Let's see, how about material time varying? About all materials. And let's do a search for water. So we've got a couple choices here for water. I'm going to open this up. This looks interesting. Maybe. That's a maybe. That's a waterfall. Double clicking on the material just to get a better view of the water material. And that's a no. I think there's a piece of terrain material texture in there. Now I kind of like this only because it does actually look like it's flowing. If you take a close look at it, it almost looks like it's flowing in several different directions. So I don't know if I like that either. A lot of waterfalls. Wow, that's almost like a swimming pool. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to try different ones and see how they look. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, I kind of like that for a river. Alright, I don't know. Let's see what this looks like. This one here. Drag that, drop it right onto the That's pretty scary looking. Hit the game mode. That's not looking too good. Let's play it and see what it looks like. Now I can change the speed of this water. But by and large, I don't like the way it looks at all. So I'm not going to use that one. Let's get out of game mode. Instead, oh, you know what? I did the wrong water. Let's do water blended. Wow. Wow. Let's try this one. Well, you know what? I like this one a whole lot better. Still not perfect, but I like it a lot better. Now what happens if I jump in here? Nothing. And it doesn't even look like I'm underwater. I'm still on the ground. Something's got to be fixed. Well, it's because we don't have our volume in here. So, let's move out of, zoom out here. Actually, we're going to go to this mode here. With our screen split, we can see more. I'm going to select that terrain and I'm going to hide it because I really want to see this level of the water. So that water layer is this red line right here. And we can see it's only about so wide by so long. And with our builder brush, go to the builder brush. Let's position our builder brush. Just underneath. And let's change the size of our builder brush. Bring it down. Let's move it over. Alright. So we need to change the width. Right there. Yeah, that's probably good. Just to make sure we're deep enough, which looks like we are, but just in case. And just bring that, move that just under that red line. and select our volumes, add volume, and we're going to look for the water. It should be a UT water, yep, UT water volume right here. So if we move our builder brush out of the way, there is, where's our water volume? There it is. That's our water volume right there. Put our terrain back in. Show all. And with our water volume selected, I'm going to right click on that volume, go to the properties. You know what, we're going to have to add a post-process volume in here. And I'll show you why. Oh, now I got things moving really fast. Let me change the speed here. Alright, so we put our water volume in there. And if we play, we jump in now, and now we can swim. Much better. But doesn't really look like water, does it? So we need to put a post-process volume in here. And we're going to do that. I'm going to hide our terrain again. Grab that builder brush. And I did move it, so I need to make sure I move it back. I didn't change the size, so just move that in here. Just right below that other brush. Post-process. Let's move this down. So now we should see, if we get in here close enough, you'll see that we've got several different volumes in here. This is post-process volume. So let's zoom out. Move that off to the side. Show all. So bring up our properties for the post-process volume. Go to settings. Okay, enable depth of field. Check that. We'll set our focus distance to 0, which looks like that's already set to 0. I'm going to set our inner focus radius to Let's try 96. Next we need to look at our max near to 0.4, and with that I think we're going to try this out. And what do you know? We've got blurriness. Now I think we can adjust that blur. Maybe not be so sensitive or so intense. Let's try point. Let's see what 0.1 does. Alright, I set that to 1 this time, which was its default value. Alright, so I played around with the settings, found what I liked. And for this level, I like the max near to be 0.3 and the max far to be 0.8. So it's not so blurry you can't see far ahead, and it's not so blurry that you can't see detail in front of you, but it still has a nice blur effect. We test this out. Jump in. And so we can see a little detail. We can still see a little blur from a distance. We're dying. We're dying. We had to get some air. Alright. I like that. I like that a lot. That's going to look good after the lighting's rebuilt. Now, if you want to get more advanced, we could talk about ways to kind of make some adjustments so that we can see kind of this water line above us. Right now, it kind of looks like the whole world's blurry, but for what we're doing, we're just playing around here, trying to make a cool level here. We're going to work with that for now. So that is water volumes. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you at the next tutorial. Thanks. Have a great day.